Good morning, first grade. Happy Monday. This is for the group champions. Champions, can you turn your math books to page 293? Now, as you turn to page 293, look at number one. Number one wants you to match the clocks with the given times. And the times that we do have are 12:55, 9:20, 1:35, and 8:05. Let's start off the first clock. Notice the hour hand is on 8, minute hand is on 5. So that's the first one, 8:05. You draw a line there. Next clock, hour hand is on 9, and then the minute hand is on 4. So I start at 1 and count 5, 10, 15, 20. This is 9:20. Here we go right here. 9:20. So for the remaining two clocks, you just basically correct the time, make sure the right minute hand and the right hour hand, and then you can match and find which one is 12:55 and which one is 1:35. As you move on to number two says with your ruler, you're going to draw these lines. So the first one, you see the number 4, that is 4 inches. And for the second one, that says 8, that is 8 centimeters. So 4 inches and 8 centimeters. Let's move on to number 3, writing the sums. You have 36 plus 22 plus 11. Let's start off over here. 6 plus 2, what's 6 plus 2? That is 8. Next, 8 plus 1. What is 8 plus 1? That is 9. Let's try this one this side. 3 plus 2, that's 5. Keep 5 in your mind. Now what is 5 plus 1? 6. So 36 plus 22 plus 11 will give you 69. Now as we flip the page over, let's turn to page 294. Let's look at number 1. Number 1 wants you to write the answers to the combination your teacher says. So let's start with letter A. Letter A, 4 plus 8. What is 4 plus 8? Letter B, 11 minus 7. 11 minus 7. Letter C, 10 minus 5. Letter C, 10 minus 5. Letter D, 12 minus 9. 12 minus 9. Letter E, be ready for letter E. It's 3 parts to it. 7 minus 3 plus 6. I'm going to read it again. Letter E, 7 minus 3 plus 6. Letter F, 2 plus 9 minus 4. I'm going to read it again. 2 plus 9 minus 4. Now, as we look at number 2, we're given a word problem. It says Mr. Robin laid 4 eggs. Mrs. Sparrow laid 2 eggs. How many eggs did Mrs. Robin and Mrs. Sparrow have? So we are given 2 problems for this word problem. So let's read the first one. It says mark the bubble under the fact that was not needed. So we're given 3 facts. Let's read them together. It says Mrs. Robin laid 4 eggs. Mrs. Sparrow laid 5 eggs. Mrs. Dove laid 2 eggs. So let's break down the problem first. It says Mrs. Robin laid 4 eggs and Mrs. Sparrow laid 2 eggs. Now, I don't see anything where it says Mrs. Dove laid 2 eggs. So we will bubble in the section that says Mrs. Dove laid 2 eggs. Now, for the second part, you're going to mark the bubble under the combination and the answer. I'm sorry, I had to correct it. It said Mrs. Robin laid 5. I had 4. So Mrs. Robin laid 5 eggs. And then Mrs. Sparrow laid 2 eggs. Now, looking at the next one, we have 4 plus 2 equals 6. Then we have 4 plus 5 equals 9. And 5 plus 2 equals 7. I'm going to put it on the board here so you can see. So one of these do not belong. Okay? So notice the 2 numbers we have are 5 and 2. 5 and 2. The one that doesn't belong is the 4 plus 5 equals 9. So we will bubble that one in. And number 3 wants us to write a number that is greater than or less than. Now, it is our turn. It's your turn. We've been practicing with this particular problem for so long, greater than or less than. Now you can create your own numbers, but it has to be correct. For example, is 32 less than a number? So whatever number you put right here, 32 has to be smaller, has to be less than that number. Okay? So this is my numbers. You can use your own. It's my number, for example. You can put 45 because 32 is less than 45. 100 is greater than, basically, wherever number you put here, 100 has to be greater than that number. I'm going to put 2. This is my number. I want you to use a different one. But 100 is greater than 2. And lastly, 63 is less than any number. I'm going to put 64. So 63 is less than 64. So for number 3, as long as it goes with the correct sign, you can create any number.